What's up, y'all? Another Yap Central video. But basically today what I want to talk about is the power of innocence, the power of naivety, and why ignorance is truly bliss. When you're young, we kind of assume that we have it figured out because we think we know better than the people that came before us, our mom, our dad, our older cousin, our older brother, our big homie, whatever, because they kind of all tell us the same thing, where there might be someone in your life where they might be where you perceive that you want to be, but they're actually not where you want to be. For example, I have one friend who would tell me, this life, basically, like, he would basically tell me, like, this shit ain't for the weak, and basically tell me, like, stay in school, don't be like me. And I had to really realize, like, what that meant. And it's not that this person I'm talking about is a bad person. I'm not talking this person I'm talking about. I don't love that person. It's just more so that they're now not here. And when you think about the choices that the people in your life make to really distance themselves from you, and really, like, when people really push you away, they have a reason for it. It could be either a reason of hatred, as in you didn't do something that they liked, and they made them uncomfortable, or the other way around, where they love you and they don't want you to get caught up in their own bullshit in their own way. And that's kind of where the point I am at with a lot of people. I kind of only want the people and the things around me in my life and that are in the present moment and that continue to support me. My next semester in college, I think I'm really gonna try to be more outgoing, try to talk to more people, because I think that's the one thing I didn't do my freshman year, this past year, was really try to understand others because of my antisocial kind of tendencies. Like, if I think a lot of people do this, but myself, I tend to push people away when I'm confused. And being confused is okay, though. That's kind of the point of the video I'm trying to make. Being confused, being lost, not necessarily knowing what the next step is just, it's okay. People say that all the time, but it's okay because you're young, and when you don't have things figured out, and when you have a life that's subsidized, as in someone else is paying for the clothes you eat, or I say clothes you eat, the food you eat, the clothes you wear on your back, the water you drink, whatever, your any bills, your college. When your life is subsidized, you don't really consider how certain things that you do affect the people around you. You really have to focus on yourself and realize, what do you want that's best for yourself, and what do you want for the other people that you care about moving forward. I think the hard part about knowing necessarily what that is, in terms of like the next step, is kind of just, but it's the scary part, but it's also the fun part, because when you're young, you kind of have a lot of options. There's a lot of life we haven't experienced yet. There's a lot of life that we don't know about yet, and that's simply because we stay in boxes. I feel like this generation is very antisocial. I feel like after the coronavirus, we really forgot how to be outside. We forgot how to socialize. We forgot how to do a lot of things, because, like, my freshman year was really virtual. My 8th grade year as well was pretty much cut short in middle school because of the coronavirus, which that obviously was God's will, and that's obviously what God wanted. But you have to also consider, why do things happen. You kind of have to let a lot of things go and kind of let God, and let things solve themselves. But I think that we tend to we force ourselves, when we force things, whatever it be, a friendship, a relationship, money, a job, whenever we force things, they don't come as fast as we believe they will. It might come quick, pause. It might become tangible quickly, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best way to go about certain things. If that kind of makes sense. I think the important thing is not even reminding, but showing that you really care about someone. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be texting them 24/7. You definitely don't have to be, because people are busy, especially when the older you get, the busier you get, just because with more responsibility, with great responsibility comes great power, which is a very true statement, even though it's everyone knows that quote. It's just very true. When the more and more that we put on ourselves, the more and more that we do simply, the more and more that we simply do, whether it be a job, whether it be a hobby, the more and more we can become attached to that set thing, more than we even understand. And I think for me that was really drugs. Not all drugs, but certain ones that I feel like if I feel like if it's too hard to find, if it's too out of your means of living, then it probably isn't for you, and you probably have to consider why you're doing that substance or that activity. For me, a lot of it was insecurity, of being very light, and being in an area where everyone's kind of is very diverse, like in terms of everyone's kind of doing their own thing. They look a certain way, have a different background, different culture, live in different economic statuses. And when you constantly see them, we're constantly on social media, and we constantly are looking at things that are vapid and negative, we become a product of that, which basically is what I'm saying by that is, like, my train of thought is lost. My fault, ADHD and shit. Yeah, we lost what I thought I was talking about. Oh, basically, like when we begin to compare ourselves, that's when we begin to bring ourselves down unconsciously. Your unconscious mind the hidden brain is much more important than what is tangible and external and what's in front of you. The wealth that money can't buy is truly something that people don't. I even say people. I think society at large doesn't really understand until they actually see money. In my opinion, if you haven't seen at least a grand, there's nothing. You don't really understand how that feeling. I made my first $5,000 when I was 17 years old, and I remember sitting there looking at that money, thinking, "This is me. I'm this money, and this is my identity." Because if I didn't have this money and I didn't have my body, or if I didn't have the status or the reputation I had, I wouldn't be respected. But at the end of the day, respect is something you earn and something you have to maintain. And that's something you only maintain through your actions. People don't care about words. Words matter, and how you say certain things matter, but people really don't care about words because, well, I don't care about words, because you can truly lie and lie and lie and lie over and over and over again. But you have to consider, who are you lying to? Are you lying to someone you love because you're trying to protect them, or are you lying to yourself because you don't want to admit that you become a certain way? But the point of the matter is living in the present and loving yourself even while you are being challenged is the most important thing. All right. Love. Peace. Safety, Brody. Stay high, stay fly.